Thank you to the Almighty God for His faithfulness. I am Victoria Daniels. Welcome to Kingdom Talk. Nikiola, what will you say are the causes of this LGBT? What are the factors that aids LGBT? I know nothing just happened that way. There must be some determining factor. Can you please share with us what the causes are?
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, the top of the causes of this LGBT culture and gender and sexual orientation is basically genetic.
Really?
Yes, it is. When the parents of a child or the parents of particular children don't take the corrective measures, they're supposed to while cutting and before getting into marriage, it disrupts a lot of things, causing the DNA and the RNA to malfunction, and it leads to the children behaving in ways they are not supposed to.
Did you just say DNA and RNA?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please explain that for the benefit of our viewers?
Okay, the DNA, as we all know, is the deoxyribonucleic acid that passes genetic information about your growth, your development, and your functioning. And while the RNA, which is the ribonucleic acid, which decodes and encodes whatever information that is being passed, into the body system.
That is communication there. Decode,
yes.
encode.
Encode. Because when the informations are not balanced and they are being passed wrongly, it tends to bring out a development function in a child. That's where we have the bisexuals, the non-asexuals, which is you're being born a girl and you start to behave like a boy. It's because the information that was passed in your genetic processing was the wrong one.
So yes. The RNA.
Yes, to the RNA was the wrong one. So
getting clear.
Yes. And it tends to start, to get developed till you get to grow and you have a mind of your own, and you say, okay, I think this is the kind of person I choose to be because it is what is going on inside of me, which is not your fault sometimes.
That's right.
Yes, which is not your fault. Then, we have the pansexuals, which is those that are attracted to both a male and a female. We also call them bisexual.
Yeah.
Then we have the intersex people. That's the people that were born with two organs. It is not their fault.
It's not their fault.
So they have to choose. Okay, I have two organs and I think I'm more comfortable with the male organ, even while you're a female. So that's like a major cause of the whole thing. Although there are other causes too. We have pressures from friends. We have
just before you go to peer pressure from friends.
Yes,
so you mean when we have a situation where there's somebody who is an hermaphrodite, it's because the parent did not really check into their genes to know if it's okay to go, and there won't be misinformation of what it should be. I think it's a lesson for someone to learn out there. So when you are in courtship, don't be too blinded by love. You need to know if your genotype will go so that there will not be more problem in the future. Absolutely. God bless you. Can you please go ahead?
Yes, ma'am. And we also have peer pressure, Peer pressure is actually very rampant because you see a lot of people doing things because they see people doing it, because it is trending, because it is what is in vogue, and you just want to,
you want to belong.
You want to belong, you want to mark register, and when they are talking about it, you don't feel left out.
You want to fit in, right?
You want to fit in. So that's what makes some people do it, because they just want to follow the norm. Like, let's see what is actually even really happening in this community. Let's see how they do it, just to get themselves fed on what they are actually not supposed to do. Yeah.
Wow. That's a very important. So some people can actually choose another path of life just because your friends are into it. So you want to join the bandwagon effect and belong. I hear that word a lot. Belong. I want to belong. I want to fit in. You just want to keep up appearance with your people. Wow, that's another interesting one. I'm getting blessed already. Honestly, I still did not can't overcome the parental factors. It shocked me, and I think a lot of parents should be aware of this. So not getting the right genotype can actually lead to a future disaster. Will you just tell us one more cause of this topic we are discussing right now?
Okay, another very funny and one that people don't actually pay attention to is when you send children to same-sex school.
Wow, yes. Same-sex school.
Yes.
Really?
When you send them to same-sex school, they start to develop feelings for themselves, because all they see is same sex. And as a girl, you get to that time of the month where your ovulation is, and your body is raging, your hormones are raging, and you just need to do something. Then you people start to help yourselves.
Really? Yeah.
Then same as the boys too, you get to that time of the month and your hormones start to rage.
Setting,
yeah,
body change.
Body change. So you experiment it with yourselves, because that is what you can get. And they, you know, while growing up back then, they don't do enough sex education, and that is what is affecting most people lately. You know, sex education needs to start as early as 2. Once your child can identify.
Can you just hold on a bit? Let me just chip in my little example, because it's a very important topic. I remember when one of my sons was in primary 5, and I got a note from the lecture. You know, I was just going through the note, and I saw explicitly way of sexuality. So I was just angry, so to say, and I went back to the proprietor and said, "Don't you think these children are too young to learn this?" I'm sure it's about maybe 8 going to 9 years then. So it means parents need to start with sex education. That's where I'm driving to. Early enough. God bless you. Please go ahead.
So, you know, teaching them their body, once they know their body parts, from 2 years, you need to tell them, okay, this is your breast, this is your bum. Nobody should touch your breast, nobody should touch your bum, and all. You know, they know the difference when a fellow girl is touching them. They know it is wrong. Just tell them the only person that has the right to your body is you and your parents. Even talking about parents, it depends
to a
too.
certain extent.
To a certain
By the time they start growing.
Yes. By the time they start growing and they start becoming overly conscious of their body. You know what happens to you when you get close to a man. You know what happens to you when you get close to a woman. So, you know, nobody should touch you in appropriate places, because they are your private parts.
True.
So it is not for public use. It is just for you. And you teach them, you know, the way to handle things. You know, so a lot of parents allow their children get comfortable with some set of people, like uncles and aunties.
True.
Some people get
I love this topic. It's so vast, honestly.
Even boys get molested by aunties.
Yeah, true.
And girls, the common one, gets molested by uncles.
And you ask them to sit on their lap, playing with
all
them.
those things. So when they see, they will feel, even if a girl, when they are being touched like that appropriately, they don't know if it is wrong or right. So they feel anybody can just touch them. Then it starts to develop from you having a female girl constantly touching you in places that are wrong, and you can't object because you don't know it is wrong. And you know, allowing children get too comfortable around outsiders, most especially, is very, very wrong.
True. You
don't call people daddy, mommy. You know, when they know they feel the love they get from their real mom, they might actually get from an outsider. True. And they will take advantage. True. So you allow them call whoever
it is, no matter how old.
No matter how old. You just say Mr. This or Mrs. That. So they know that this person is not a part of my family. So there are some things my family can do to me that Mr. Whatever cannot do to me. So with that alone, it helps to, you know, build the subconsciousness that, okay, this is my private part and nobody is allowed to touch it. Wow. So it's actually very broad, and we can keep going on and on.
And not only same school alone, you know, we also have hostels, boys hostels. Even if you go to a mixed school, you have boys hostel, you have girls hostel. So, but one thing that you mentioned that I think is very important is for you to educate your ward or your children early enough to know what is good, so that somebody don't get them along the path they feel it's right.
Yes.
We can go on and on, like Nikiola told us right now. Nikki, I'm so blessed today. I know we'll continue again when we talk about the consequences and the solution to LGBT. Remember, this is not a new thing. It happens yet in the Old Testament. In our coming episode, you will know what is the owner's mind, the one who created you and the one who created me. Remember, Jesus is the only solution, but we'll get to that in our next episode. We can't thank you enough, Nikiola. Thank you so much. Indeed, you are a psychologist. So I take everything that you have said today with pride and in high esteem. Thank you one more time. Until next time, remain blessed. God bless you. Make sure you like and share this particular program. It will be a blessing to someone. God bless you. See you next time.